and the plot thickens. This show was hella creepy, and so are the characters. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Soul by GG 101. Today is Wednesday, which could only mean one thing. It's time for another recap, review, whatever, of Riverdale. So, we are on episode 8 of 13. And at this point of watching the show, I think I started to get to the point where I realized that I was going to just read my notes, so I might as well include specific things that caught my attention. So let's just get into what I wrote for my Riverdale diary. Okay. Episode 8, The Plot Thickens. To help try and reconcile with the Coopers, Veronica throws Polly a baby shower. Polly wants both her mom and Jason's mom there. After Betty talks with her mother, she agrees, assuming Mary Cherry told her mom. At the baby shower, Mrs. Blossom apologizes to Polly for trying to shut her out and take the baby. Sorry, I was writing really fast. And takes the baby and offers Polly to live with them. Polly's mom bugs out on Mrs. Blossom and throws it in her face and Mrs. Blossom throws it in her face about giving Polly away, aka it was a complete disaster party. After the baby shower, Betty convinces her mom to talk to Polly. Polly reveals that her dad tried to get her to have an abortion. Surprise to her mom and Betty. Her mom says she wants her to have the baby and to come home. Then we find out the truth of what has been really going on between the relationship of Mr. and Mrs. Cooper. Because Betty's mom, which I think her name is Alice, I didn't write it down, but I think her name is Alice, goes home to confront her husband, and we find out that when they were teenagers, Alice got pregnant, and her father, Mr. Cooper, convinced her to have an abortion, which was something that she obviously never got over, which kind of opens the gate into us understanding why she's so overprotective with her children, especially with Betty, being that she feels like she cannot save Polly. So she kicks him out of the house and tells Betty to tell Polly to come home. But Polly chooses the Blossoms for the baby. Now, we all know the Blossoms have a lot of money, and at this point I'm wondering why she would pick the Blossoms. Like, I guess she was picking it for money reasons, which later on she did confess to, but still, it just didn't seem right that she would pick the Blossoms. And I guess because we're the audience and we've seen the Blossoms, it's like, girl, don't make that choice. Like, they hecka crazy. But, you know, to each their own. Mr. Blossom buys out Fred's crew so that way, because basically, because remember before Hermione forged Veronica's signature so that way Fred could get the construction job to rebuild for Lodge Inc. Well, it's become kind of like the disaster construction site. And Mr. Blossom buys out Fred's crew right on the first day of construction, right? And guarantees them 2 years worth of work automatically. Archie, Jughead, Kevin, and Moose volunteer to help with the beginning of the construction, because Archie's dad is like hecka sad, because like this is what he wants to do with his life. This was the choice that he made, so that way he could provide for his family or whatever the case may be, and now it's just being taken away from him, and he invested a lot of money into the business and he's losing the money, so they offer to help him kind of like pro bono. And at the end of the day, Moose runs out to get his phone because he left it on this site. He sees guys trashing the site, and he yells out at them, and they beat up Moose. Okay, here's my issue. I know people say, if you see something, say something. That don't mean you say something to the people who are doing it. What the hell is wrong with you? He could have easily just turned around and tippy-toed himself right back into the trailer and been like, yo, Mr. Archibald's dad, okay? Like, they're trashing your construction site. But no, he wanted to be this hero. He decided to step up and say something, and homeboy got beaten up. Oops, so sorry. Archie goes to the serpents to confront them and asks Jughead to go with him, but Jughead says no, which pisses Archie off, which is really weird because Jughead happened to have a dream where Archie accuses him of stabbing him in the back, and it was, okay, so that dream, wait, let me make sure I'm not gonna. So that dream was kind of interesting because I didn't want to give away anything in the beginning, but that dream was really interesting because it was the first time that we actually see the comics. And so in the dream, he thought that he was mad at him for being with Betty, but, well, later on, amen. While at the Serpents, he finds out about Jughead's dad. Then Archie is hella rude because he just waltzes into the baby shower. No hi, how you doing? No congratulations, nothing. He confronts Jughead and tells Betty. Now Veronica announces Betty and Jughead are together. Archie looks, oh wait, okay, hold up. So before we get into that part, yeah, he just waltzed in there and didn't say anything. He didn't say hi, he didn't say congratulations, he didn't say sorry for interrupting or anything like that. He was really rude about it, and like, I get it, you're upset because he didn't tell you, but it's like, you should have like thought about the position that he was in. That position couldn't have been easy for him, you know what I mean? Because like, your dad's in the Seaside Serpents and they have a really bad rep, and you don't want to lose your friends or your brand spanking new girlfriend. Like, he could have been a whole lot more empathetic to him, but he really wasn't. Jerk. I don't really like Archibald, I'm not gonna lie. Now Veronica announces Betty and Jughead are together. Archie looks burned even though they talked about it previously in the episode and he said it was cool. Told better out of spite. Oh, I was saying, so he tells Betty about, you know, his father being in the Serpents, and I think that he did that mostly out of spite. Not really because he cared. Obviously, Jughead cares about Betty, and her knowing everything about him worries him because she's afraid that, like, because Betty is Betty, she's not going to want to be with him anymore. And I feel like Archie just really did that out of spite. He really needed a slap. Betty and Juggy confront his dad. He denies, but I think he's lying. We see Jug's dad with Kevin's boyfriend stuffing Jason's jacket in a duffel bag, and he says hide it as insurance. Jug's dad shows up with his crew to help, says he axed around and found out some Canadians did because Hermione's husband is pissed about her and Fred. Yeah. But who snitched? That's what I want to know. And is it true or a decoy? Oh, and P.S. Archie and Val are a couple? What? When did this happen? So basically, this whole entire episode was just kind of confusing, especially the Archie Valerie thing. Like, bruh. We didn't see Polly in this episode at all. No real signs of Mary Cherry. Nothing significant, obviously, that I felt the need to write down. And Archie being with Valerie was just kind of like, where in God's green earth did that come from? That was random. So, like, this episode wasn't very memorable because I don't really remember beyond what I wrote for this episode. So I'm thinking that this episode was probably one of, like, the fluff and filler episodes. However, the most, like, I think big whoa was the whole thing between FP and the Canadians and finding out about Fred and different things like that. Mind you, Fred still doesn't know that Lodge Industries was the one who brought out the construction site. He has no clue about that. And Hermione doesn't want to tell him because she really doesn't want to lose what she has with him, and she's afraid that he'll pull out anyway. And we all know how guys are when they get their feelings hurt. I'm so sorry if this offends any of y'all, but it's true. Y'all know when y'all get butt hurt, y'all just become spiteful and petty. Ooh, y'all become petty. Like, y'all need to stop. Y'all act worse than females when y'all get hurt. So, yeah, that's basically what happened this episode. So you know what to do. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more like it, or if you enjoyed me and you want to see more from me, then you definitely need to be part of the GG Meister Merpod and come swimming with us on all of our adventures. How might you do that? You're probably asking. Well, it's simple. All you have to do is rate, comment, subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Loves and likes ya. Bye!